Hi friends, it's Jim from Unite Indy. I just want to tell you about this trip God has taken us on. We're now on the threshold of really being able to impact poverty and restore hope in our poorest urban neighborhoods. In some of these neighborhoods, the unemployment rate is 21%. That's because these areas are home to an overwhelming number of people who have returned from incarceration and they've never been able to find decent employment. For them, finding a job is almost impossible. They have to deal with transportation issues, the need to be absent for parole visits, and just the difficulty of finding employers who will consider hiring someone with a criminal record. So the first piece of the puzzle was for us to develop SecondChanceIndy.com, the first website to list jobs for those returning from incarceration to Central Indiana. Everything they need and a whole lot more is on the site. But we learned very quickly that just because a reentrant gets a job, that doesn't mean he'll keep it. So here's the next piece of the puzzle: how to keep a job. The culture of prison or jail does not transfer well to the job site. As one friend puts it, all of a sudden there's an overabundance of freedom. And without an understanding of the concept of coming under authority, workplace issues, responsibility, and patience, these employees very often fail to keep even a great job. We searched and found the answer in a program called Jobs for Life, which has been successful at putting people on the path to steady employment in 300 cities and 9 countries. We're now certified to begin training. I think you'll love it. What's this?
Imagine a musician who can no longer make music. By losing the ability to do something they were created to do, they lose a piece of themselves. They lose a sense of purpose. We were created and designed by God to work, and our work is one of the core places that we receive our purpose and dignity. But what if you didn't have access to good work? For millions of people in need, this is reality. Many men and women, for many different reasons, can't find employment, are underemployed, or are shut out of jobs. And without employment, there is loss of purpose and dignity, which creates a vicious cycle of poverty, economically, spiritually, and emotionally. Christians have always been engaged in the fight to break this cycle, but the majority of the church's effort and resources for those in need begins with food, then housing, then clothing, and then at the very bottom of the list is work. But without employment and the means to actually provide for themselves and their families, the cycle continues, which begs the question, what if we flip the list? What would happen if churches and nonprofits were empowered to actually help those in need, find and keep employment, and provide for themselves? The folks at Jobs for Life think this could change the game forever. Jobs for Life equips local churches and other organizations to champion the cause of work for those who need it most. By teaching individuals a biblical understanding of their identity and work, and surrounding them with a community to support them, we can help people experience the hope and transformation they need to find and thrive at work. Imagine churches and nonprofits being centers where the cycle of joblessness is broken, where business owners receive employees who understand the value and purpose of work. Imagine families restored where children grow up with hope and a future. Imagine communities and entire cities renewed because purpose and dignity have been restored. Jobs for Life believes imagination can become reality.
As you can see, we have a vision. Once this program is in place to connect reentrants with training and jobs, we see churches in our urban core doing training in their neighborhoods. Eventually, we'll work to encourage entrepreneurial enterprise in these areas as well. Meanwhile, we're waiting for the results of a study that we helped get off the ground by Butler University's Lacey School of Business. It's the first of its kind studying the benefits to employers who provide jobs to ex-offenders. And we expect it will verify the anecdotal evidence that we have that ex-offenders are loyal, dependable, and can be excellent employees. The study will help Unite Indy convince employers to list jobs on SecondChanceIndy.com and can be used nationwide for the benefit of those returning from prison and jail sentences. But right now, our target is to reduce unemployment among that huge group returning home from incarceration. This will not be accomplished with the flip of a switch, but through training and employer involvement, We can turn hungry families into whole families. We can reduce spousal abuse, addiction, crime, and homelessness, while we improve education, health, and bring dignity back to those who have been hopeless. The manpower needed to continue our online service, which lists needs for not-for-profits, ministries, and churches, takes money. The cost of training and workbooks for Jobs for Life will take much more. We have a dedicated group of people who are writing letters to inmates and others who have gone through training with me to be certified as Jobs for Life teachers. Each student receives their own books for the course, and we'll need hundreds, if not thousands. We have the moral support and encouragement of the Indiana Department of Correction, and as soon as COVID restrictions are lifted, we'll be in the prisons doing this work. But we need you. If giving is in your plans this holiday season, we ask that you consider Unite Indy. Our work is just beginning, and while we firmly believe that God pays for what He orders, we know His supply for us must come through people like you. So thank you for considering supporting this work, and God bless you.